Welcome to Top Stories of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ngullie. Besides the expected reports of bombardment in Gaza, Lebanon and Israel, there has yet to be breakthrough developments in regard to the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. There is a sliver of hope, though. The United States, Israel, Egypt, and the United Nations have agreed on allowing limited medical supplies to Gaza. That said, while the Israeli military and troops are amassed at the Gaza border for an anticipated ground invasion, ladies and gentlemen, the United States and its European allies are discreetly urging Israel to delay the operation. Since the conflict began, the death toll in Gaza is approximated at 3,478 killed, if I'm not wrong. Approximately 12,065 people have been wounded. In the occupied West Bank, about 69 people have been killed and approximately 1,300 people have been wounded. In Israel, at least 1,400 people have been killed and approximately 3,800 people have been injured since the October 7 attacks by the Hamas militant group. Here are the top news stories, ladies and gentlemen. The banned militant organization from Assam, the United Liberation Front of Assam, independent, has not taken kindly to the demand of some organizations in Barak Valley to have a separate state of their own. The militant group issued an ultimatum to Bengali residents living in various parts of Assam, asking them to clarify their stance on the proposed separation of Barak Valley. The Alpha had issued a press release to the media on Sunday earlier. The release said Assam is a home to various communities, so calling for a separate Barak state now would only affect the unity and solidarity of the region, the group stated. The organization also criticized the Barak Democratic Front's chief convener Pradeep Dada Roy, who had been vocal about the demand and was spearheading the movement for a separate Barak state. The release remarked that Barak Valley is not Roy's ancestral property, and that's his quote, and that his ancestors had not contributed even the least to the valley. In his reply on Sunday, Mr. Roy expressed surprise at the statement and said that the Alpha took birth in Jorhat in Assam and carried out their extremist movement there, with their militant camps in Bangladesh, demanding separation from India that can never be fulfilled in 100 years. That was a statement from the Barak Valley organization. So he said, if detention camps in Assam are demolished and the Citizens Amendment Act is implemented, and the National Registrar of Citizens holds all genuine Bengali people in its list, and then jobs are given to Bengalis in Assam, the BDF will withdraw the demand for a separate Barak state, he said. Cricket is popular in several countries, ladies and gentlemen. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Australia, England, and New Zealand, West Indies. These are some of the countries where cricket is big. However, comparatively, it still has to fight for a spot in the spotlight when it comes to standing beside football, the world's most popular sport. At least for now, though, cricket might get its due. For the first time since 1900, cricket has been included in the Olympics. The International Olympic Committee has approved a proposal to include cricket and 4 other new games in the 2028 Los Angeles Games. The decision was taken during a voting session in Mumbai earlier. The 5 sports that have been added to the 2028 Los Angeles Games by the IOC including cricket, are baseball, softball, lacrosse, and squash. The sports disciplines were proposed by Los Angeles officials and recommended by the IOC Executive Board on Friday. It cleared a final hurdle on Monday from the Olympic body's full membership. I believe there are literally thousands of people in Assam right now still celebrating at this time after what happened. We'll get into the story, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to remember for a long time what the government of Assam has done for them, ladies and gentlemen. Approximately 6,655 beneficiaries of the Assam Microfinance Incentive and Relief Scheme got their loans waived, just like that. They no longer have to toil hard or worry about repaying their loans. The government marked the loan waiver with a ceremonious event at Silchar's police parade ground on Monday. In Assam, about 2,22,949 beneficiaries will now get a no-dues certificate. No more baki. This will improve their credit score and apply for loan once again. And this is the loan that was waived off. A whopping 300 crore has been waived off by the government of Assam. And Dr. Rajdeep Roy, Member of Parliament in Silchar, informed about this. Just a hint, anyone in our Nagaland government watching? I thought ragging was a detestable practice for northeastern people. Personally, I've never really experienced it. A case of ragging was reported from Northeastern Hill University's Tura campus recently. A first-year student of agribusiness management from Nagaland was reportedly subjected to severe hazing by his seniors on his first day at the hostel on October 8, ladies and gentlemen. Reports say the victim's seniors knocked on the door of his room between 1:30 to 2:30 a.m. and took him to another room. After taking the victim to another room, he was forced to introduce himself in Hindi and English and was later stripped naked and made to dance. The entire incident was recorded by the seniors, who later, according to reports, threatened the victim not to report the incident. They warned that they would make the pictures and videos viral. That's what the report said. Frightened by the ordeal, the student fled to Nagaland the day after the incident. His family filed an FIR with the police in this regard, ladies and gentlemen. In response to this incident, the Naga Students' Union at Shillong submitted a memorandum to the Northeastern Hill University's Vice Chancellor, Mr. Prabhashankar Shukla. They demanded action against the perpetrators of this crime. A 5-judge bench headed by the Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud ruled against legalizing same-sex marriage in India on Wednesday, October 17. Ladies and gentlemen, reading out the judgment in a batch of petitions, the Chief Justice of India said that the court cannot strike down the provisions of Special Marriage Act or read the words differently. The Supreme Court agreed that there is no fundamental right to marry. In a majority verdict, the court ruled against same-sex marriage then. The court heard pleas challenging the provisions of the Special Marriage Act of 1954, the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955, and the Foreign Marriage Act of 1969. Ladies and gentlemen, the petitioners had argued that marriage brings with it several rights, privileges, and obligations that are protected by the law. Justice Ravindra Bhatt said the right to marry is not a fundamental right. The Supreme Court recognizes that marriage is a social institution. In fact, marriage as an institution precedes the state, he said. This implies that marriage structure exists regardless of the state, the judge said, and the terms of marriage are independent of the state, and its sources are external. There cannot be an unqualified right to marry which is to be treated as a fundamental right, he said. The Central Bureau of Investigation on Monday filed charges against 6 persons accused and a report against 1 child in conflict with the law in the May 4th viral video case in Manipur involving sexual assault and the killing of 2 men. The CBI had registered a case on the request of the Manipur government and taken over the investigation on June 21st. According to the central agency, investigation revealed that accused persons were involved in the incident. Charges were filed the previous week before the special judge, the CBI court in Guwahati, designated as per the orders of the Supreme Court. Moasangba Jamir, president of the Naga People's Front for Mokokchung Division, reportedly surrendered to the police after accidentally shooting one of his workers on Tuesday. Sources close to the victim say that one of the victim's nephews, also said to be a worker at Mr. Jamir's Metsubin resort in Chuchu Yimpang village, requested him to intervene to control his uncle's alcoholism. Jamir reportedly decided to warn him by blank firing but accidentally hit the victim. The deceased has been identified as one Longshang Konyak from Mon district. Jamir is said to be currently in police custody in this regard, ladies and gentlemen. On Tuesday, an estimated 300 to 500 people were killed in an explosion at the Al Ali Arab Hospital in Gaza City, ladies and gentlemen. This triggered a spat of finger pointing among the Israel and Hamas authorities and other Palestinian organizations in this regard. It also led to tense moments in the diplomatic circles between Israel and its Western allies, especially the United States. Hamas claimed that the explosion was caused by an Israeli rocket attack, but the Israeli government denied it in the outright. It maintained that Israeli forces had no role in the attack, and instead it blamed the militant group Hamas. However, amid the blaming, new visuals and media information seem to point to the Islamic Jihad as being behind the atrocity. The Israeli military has blamed the Islamic Jihad for firing a barrage of rockets into Israel, one of which reportedly misfired and landed right on the top of the hospital. To support his claim, the Israel Defense Forces released video and radar visuals as proof that the explosion was caused by a malfunctioning Islamic Jihad rocket, which eventually fell on the hospital. Further, Israel released what it said was a transcript of a captured conversation between Hamas operatives reacting in surprise and in realization that explosions were actually caused by a Palestinian rocket. Thank you for watching Hornbill TV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ngullie. See you next time.